Are you a struggling trader in today's markets and not understanding current price action, or need an edge in today's market on your day trades or swing trades, or even your intra-trade scalp trades? So let me give you a few tips what has helped me in today's market, the 2025 year market, that has given me an edge that has gotten me more profitable than I've ever been profitable before. So let's dive right into it. And I want to break down a trade that we took this week that gave us a 1 to 30 return on a simple swing trade, but we broke it down from our weekly all the way down to our 1 minute time frame and secured a perfect entry with the tightest stop loss possible. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. So first off here, we're going to start off with our weekly time frame. As you can see, our weekly is bearish, with this being our higher high and a higher low, and then we had a shifted structure here, making this the lower high and the lower low, and we're coming back to retest. On this, you see we have an area of interest, which means that we have 3 consecutive touches in one certain area. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even way over here, confirming that this is a strong area of interest on the weekly, and we have that marked in blue. As you can see here, we also have a round psychological level, which is every 500. So now we go down to our daily. You can see that our daily is also bearish. So this is current price action. When we get closer to, we'll hit the replay button and bring it in closer so you can exactly see what we saw during the time. But breaking back down on the daily, as you can see, this is our higher high. This is our higher low. As you can see, price then shifted from here, a lower high, lower low. Now we are bearish. I also see a left head, right shoulder potential here. Let me draw that out with the head and shoulders tool, like this. Potential. Let me get rid of that so we can get rid of our charts. Next one, we also have a daily EMA rejection. We have a daily area of interest in this box as well. As you can see, we have consecutive touches 1, 2, 3 on our daily, giving this a daily area of interest. Now let's go down to our 4 hour. This is where I am going to start hitting the replay button so you can see what I saw when we took this trade. So going back here, okay, now we are on replay. We're a little too far, went a little too far back, but that's not the end of the world. At this current point, you can see that our 4 hour is bearish. We have a lower high and a lower low, or lower high and a lower low here, lower high and a lower low. We're actually bearish on this. We're at a weekly area of interest. You can see 1, 2, and if we go over here, 3, 4 touches on this, making this a confirmed 4 hour area of interest. You can also see that we have a EMA rejection. So now let's jump down to our 1 hour and get into that stuff that is giving me the edge in this year's market is called supply and demand. Using supply and demand, basing it off of a 1 hour area of interest, or not area of interest, but a 1 hour inducement candle, giving us basically our framework to bring it down and bust down our price action into a smaller scale trade to get our stop loss extra small. So right here, as you can see, this is our inducement candle. As you can see, this is our BOS, and this inducement candle induced the last candle, giving us a shifted structure in a BOS, giving this a confirmed supply zone. If you zoom out, you can see that this has been mitigated here and mitigated here. So we're going to jump down to our lower time frames and see if we can make this smaller, just like that. So the supply zone is using the previous candle from the initial dump. So like I said, BOS, here is your dump, and then that is the previous candle before the engulfing and negative push. So now our supply zone has not been mitigated and have not been retouched, and we're going to go down to our 15-minute here again and see if we can just fine tune it one more time, and just like that. All right, we have now made our supply zone small. Now I'm going to press play on this to get us a little bit closer to session. Price is now broken our supply zone. So, okay, so now this is where we get curious. Okay, see, we got to get closer. We get down to our slower time frames. And now what we're looking for is this exact thing right here, and it's called an inducement candle. And I'll explain it as it happens. As you can see, this candle has outwicked this candle. Let's go down, and then created a BOS. As you can see, we already marked. This is now an inducement here. As you can see, this candle has outwicked this candle, creating the inducement. Now, a BOS is a little bit different than a shift of structure or an SOS. A BOS is when the candle wick goes to a candle body. A shift of structure is when a candle body goes close to a candle body, creating a shift of structure on the candle wick or candle bodies. On a BOS, it's candle wick to candle body. So it's a little different, same concept, but a little different. As you can see here, we had the BOS and price has been dumped. This is confirmed inducement. Technically, on the lower time frames, it's a little bit more cleaner. As you can see, this is where it's cleaner. Here is the lower high, and here's the higher high and the higher low. There is the confirmed BOS. There's your inducement candle. There's the dump. There is your engulfing. And technically, this could have been a perfect entry with the rejection of around psychological level here. Perfect rejection from round psych. And if you know anything about round psych, that's where banks usually onload or upload all their cash into the market. So this is a beautiful rejection here. Shifted head and shoulders. As you can see, we have a left head, right shoulder rejection. You can count it from this here and go from here to here, or you can go from there to there. And I like this head and shoulders a lot better than I like that head and shoulders there. So now we're currently waiting for price to come back and give us a retest and entry. Fast forward it here a little bit. Price is now working its way back up, and now we have officially retested our BOS, right? But look at the time. It is 12:51 in the morning, and it is out of session, so we're not interested in this trade yet. Keep going forward to our time frame. We are at 2:30 in the morning. Price has now broken below, giving us what again? Another inducement, right? But is this a confirmed inducement? There is your BOS here. Grab your line here. There's your BOS, just like that. Make this a BOS there. And now, remember, price, our session is London from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. So, you can see another inducement has been confirmed. Right here, there's another BOS, another inducement. And here comes price, another inducement. We get in exactly on this inducement 15 minutes before structure opens, which is also the neckline retest here. After this inducement was confirmed, we took this bearish engulfing candle and took an entry on that. Let's go to our 1 minute. As you can see here is a little bit clearer picture on how we entered and why we entered. Inducement, bearish engulfing candle, and we took the entry on that retest off of the 1 minute, putting our stop loss to the top of this inducement, and then we just let it ride. And so how does this work? Well, we are looking for a swing trade on this because we have more consecutive time frames in sync. So that is how we got the 1 to 30, because we found the pinpoint entry of the exact entry that we needed to take our swing trade with the smallest stop loss possible. So as soon as this trade went to a 1 to 3, we just let it ride. And then as you can see from the higher time frames, we scaled in again at this price point here, and then eventually we just let this thing ride for the remainder of the day and the remainder of the night, coming back and giving us our Asia lows right here, and then a little bit more for a 1 to 30 return, which is my biggest trade I've taken to date, and that's why I wanted to break this down for you so you guys could see it for yourself. It turned out to be absolutely gorgeous. It did take a long time. It gave us all the way up to New York open right here. As you can see, New York is getting ready to open, and that's when we finally took our take profit at New York open right there. And that is how we took this trade and got a 1 to 30 RR. If you want to know how I did this and get more classes on how to find these supply and demands, let me know in the comments below, and I can make better videos and more videos for you, or what else you would like me to break down. Thanks. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.